What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about dark-skinned black men being related to struggle love. And some of you probably are like, I never thought of that. Or some of you may have already picked up on it. Either way, just want to come through and sort of speak on that for a moment. All right. So, if you guys have noticed, every time a struggle love narrative, movie, television show, book, whatever, every time that a struggle love narrative is promoted to black women, usually the man involved in the struggle love, thus the man who is creating the struggle love, is usually brown skin or dark skin. Notice that. I don't think we pick up on that enough. I don't think we really pick up on that at all. And I think partially that's because it's been just so normalized within the culture, right? Honestly, I think to an extent, black male mediocrity has been normalized in the culture. And it becomes more and more acceptable the darker the man is, usually, right? Um, and, when I see struggle love portrayed in the media, again, it tends to involve black women of all shades. Oddly enough, different shades of black women. Usually, when it comes to the struggle of dude, you know, usually that dude is reserved as being brown skin or dark skin. That's a little strange. And I think that in itself is sort of sending and perpetuating a message, you know. But again, many black women are addicted to the struggle. So it kind of works in their favor, right? So it's sort of like just, again, perpetuating the socialization of accepting black male mediocrity, right? Don't really expect too much from these men. They're not going to be able to upgrade you. They're not going to be able to, wine and dine you as much as you would like, perhaps, or take you on fancy vacations. All right, just be happy with black love, black struggle love, right? Um, I'll say in some Tyler Perry movies, I have seen perhaps sort of like some light-skinned mixed man, black man struggle love promoted a little bit, but usually it's promoted in a certain way though. It's like Diary of a Mad Black Woman, for example. Usually, like, it was like the dark-skinned black man was the one with the money, but he was cheating and he was abusive, perhaps. Um, but on the flip side, the light-skinned dude was like the blue-collar dude, but he was a good guy, and he really cared and about this woman and what she goes through and things like that. But even Tyler Perry has been called out on that though, and he switched it up. I believe so. Um, you know, Someone had to take him off to the side and say, "Hey, you're supposed to be promoting the struggle love narrative as the dark skinned and brown skinned black man being the victors in the competition for the female's love, right?" And also notice when they promote, okay, when mainstream media promotes black men with non-black women, usually it's not a struggle love promotion. Usually they're not promoting it as struggle love, like, oh, get with this dude and you're gonna be struggling, but you're gonna have some good time, but you're gonna be struggling. You usually don't see that, you know, you know. But again, um, you know, usually when I see struggle love, it's usually being promoted from black media, right? Black struggle love usually comes from black media, you know. And, I'm not one for conspiracies, but you know, it's something to think about, right? Like, this almost seems like this is sort of calculated or even orchestrated, you know? But like I said before, many black women are totally down for struggle love, totally willing to work with these Negroes, totally. You know? And sometimes in some black movies, they do sort of juxtapose the light skinned dude and the dark skinned dude, where the dark skinned dude is seen as like the more noble choice. You know. Um, I think Napoli Ever After recently did that. You know, and there's other examples too. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but yeah, it's that's sort of like something to take note of too, where it's like, you know, she's going back to natural. She's going natural. So she gotta have a dark skinned black man to go natural with, right? But when she was, her hair was processed and permed, oh, she was with the biracial mixed light skinned dude. Yeah. You know. Also notice something I sort of spoke on earlier, but notice within black media, these brown skinned and dark skinned black men are promoted with the rainbow of black women, right? Of all shades, right? All shades matter, right? But usually when it comes to the black women being promoted, usually they tend to stick within a certain shade of black man, right? Usually he needs to be darker than the paper bag, right? So thus giving this black man plenty of options to choose from, while limiting black women's options, right? Because, we can't have black women, you know, walking around here thinking that they got options, right? We can't have them walking around here with confidence, because that totally just disrupts the hierarchy in the black community, right? You know. But on the flip side, I do sort of think in many situations, the struggle love dude usually winds up finding his struggle love female equivalent. Because usually the females who really do have options, for one reason or another, because of their looks, because of their accomplishments, um, their reputation, combination of all three, usually they will make sure to get the most bang for their attributes, right? Usually, right? Again, not 100% all the time, but usually they tend to get what they're worth, on the dating market, usually. That's why a lot of times you don't see the really high up, light skinned chicks being with dark skinned men. Again, it happens, of course. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen at all. But usually it's not, oh, it's not 100% like that though, right? Because there's other factors that go into it, right? As I mentioned, plenty of lists already, right? Like, heck, I just found out that, Monica, she's been married to Shannon Brown. They both light skinned. They've been married for like 8 years, I think. Recently filed for divorce, Tamia and Grant Hill, right? You know, Queen Naja, you know, Rosario Dawson, right? Like Queen Naja and Clarence. I think they're expecting a kid. Um, Rosario Dawson and Cory Booker. They've been rumored to be an item. Um, Nicole Ari Parker and Boris Koja, right? And um, a lot more. Angela Rye was actually someone who sort of surprised me. Like Angela Rye was with Common for a while, so yeah, sometimes I'm being surprised. Like, oh, But it's like again, options, right? So I think the women who don't really have much options outside of struggle love will just accept struggle love, right? But the women who do will go for their best option, right? And perhaps maybe on some level, maybe they associate dark skinned black men with struggle. You know how some black women say, some dark skinned and brown skinned black women say that, oh, those brown skinned and dark skinned men associate them with struggle. Perhaps on some level, this is playing out for them. Think about that. Because that has come up too, where it's like, oh, the dark skinned, brown skinned brothers don't want to be with the brown skinned, dark skinned sisters because the brown skinned and dark skinned brothers associate the brown skinned, dark skinned sisters with the struggle. And they don't want to be with the struggle. So they go for the lighter skinned chicks, right? But, I was thinking about maybe even making a video to sort of counter that argument at one point or another. I don't know. But think about it though. Some people just say, "Oh, it's just the brown skin, dark skinned woman is associated with struggle," but not exactly. It's not exactly like that, Perhaps maybe brown skin and dark skinned people, both the men and women, are associated with struggle to an extent, perhaps, But I feel like the brown skin, dark skinned black women are more willing to struggle with the brown skin and dark skinned black men versus vice versa, perhaps. And as well, we know that there are plenty of brown skin and dark skinned women who are with men, and it's been sort of like a win, quote unquote a win, and them not being associated with struggle, right? Like Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, for them. The president of Jamaica, is with a dark-skinned woman, and they're a family. They had 2 kids. The one of the presidents, I think, during 2001, he was with one of the presidents of Ghana back in like 2001. He was with a dark-skinned woman, I'm pretty sure a lot of them were, I believe his name is Senator Vincent Hughes. He's with Sheryl Lee Ralph. He's a senator, right? So really, in a way, it's like, if you want to obtain some power, some authority, get with that brown-skinned, dark-skinned black woman, right? And your days shall be long and prosperous in this land, all right? But I think I've said all I have to say. Of course, there's plenty more examples of, brown skin, dark skin women getting to come up. All right, plenty of them. I think George Lucas's wife is a black woman. I think brown skin. Who else? There's a lot. I just can't think of them off the top of my head, but they're out there definitely. Actually, there was a video made about that where it's like a whole bunch of brown skin and dark skin women just showing them with different groups of men, and the men having a lot of money, right? So yeah, there you have it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this topic. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.